So once you have understand what you can learn and what needs to be learned in those two dimensions I talked about, trust, innovation, you have to go into other two dimensions. So those whatever you do in these two dimensions are depending on what you have learned in the trust dimension and innovation. See, I cannot expect you to learn everything, but you should learn to your capacity. So once you learn, everybody is different. So once you learn that, once you to your utmost, the highest possible thing you can achieve, once you reach that, you will know what those driven dimensions are, what should be learned there, and how do you go about learning. And the first dimension that you can work with is method dimension, and the method dimension is important to work because you have to attain the maturity. How do you attain maturity? By doing it over and over again. And what needs to be learned there? Whatever you have acquired, you should be able to apply it. Otherwise, that whatever you acquired becomes forgotten, rusted, not seen. Takes more time to really polish it and work through the whole thing. But once you apply whatever you acquired, you have to begin to benchmark what you have acquired. You have to compare against other people. Oh, okay, whatever acquired, is it as good as the person who has acquired? If not, you have some other methods. Collaborate in the sense of you have to work not as a competition. Hey, I have this, you have this, can we put it together and create something new? Okay, that is important. So collaboration is as opposed to competition. I don't want to compete with you. Hey, come on, let's work together, let's build something new, and then deliver. How do you deliver what you have put together? Delivery is important because you have to make sure whatever you have delivered is trusted by the other person, right? So once you do that, the maturity happens. That's what I call methods maturity. You have to go through the same QTIME steps to achieve that. So once you achieve the methods maturity, you can go to the next level of what the effort dimension you can learn. So effort dimension consists again of 4 quadrants or 4 efforts: self effort, teacher's effort, team effort, and what I call time effort. Time is not QTIME, it's a time, real time. Let me explain this. See, there is a Subhashita is called it in Sanskrit. Acharyat padamadatte. Acharya means teacher. Acharyat padamadatte. Padam shishya somedasa. See, padam means quarter, 1 quarter. Okay, so 1 quarter you can learn from teacher. Other quarter somedasa, andre shishya student, with his own effort will learn. Okay, Acharyat padamadatte. Padam shishya somedasa. Padam sabbrahmacharyabhya is again a Sanskrit thing which says sabbrahmacharyabhya means people that you study with, like your team. If you work together, you will learn the other quarter, and the rest padam acharyat padamadatte. Padam shishya somedasa. Okay, padam sabbrahmacharyabhya. Shesham andre left over 1/4 kalakramena over a time. So that is the essence of Subhashita, is kind of creating efforts efficiency here. Self effort is important. Okay, so you have to understand, if you don't put effort, then nothing can be achieved, because you are going to miss 1/4 of learning, right? So if you don't put the effort, if you think I have learned completely, no, you have only 3/4. So what you learn from teacher is only 1/4. So if you put your effort, other 1/4 is going to come through. So half of what you know. And then if you work with your team, work with your friends and to study more about the subject, other 1/4 will come. So only 3/4. But when does the complete effort is recognized? Over a period of time. See, which is time is also an important effort. A time wasted is time lost. Other way too is time not wasted is time invested. So if you are able to do certain things faster, okay, you can use the same time for some other purpose. Say for example, if I have to come here to this studio from my place, okay, and it takes 45 minutes, 1 hour by bus, but it takes me 10 minutes or 20 minutes by car. And if I am going to save 40 minutes, I have to really know why I want to save 40 minutes, because at that 40 minutes I can invest in something else, to do some other. I don't want to really have a jolly ride in the car and come here early, do something, nothing. No, if I come here by saving 40 minutes by coming by bus, then what happens is I can use the 40 minutes for some other purpose. That is important. So time saved is time invested. So to create the efforts efficiency, it is important that you have to go through all this: self effort, teacher's effort, team effort, and time effort. Then you create efforts efficiency. So what is it about? Now you are at the stage, you know all the steps, you know all the dimensions, and 4-dimensional learning is nothing but taking QTIME steps in QTIME dimensions, right? That's all is important. Know that you have to just think about QTIME steps like A, B, C, D steps in QTIME dimensions. You have now are capable of learning in 4 dimensions. So why do we need that? Why do we need this QTIME learning? Because we are in 21st century. In 21st century learning, will not change the education landscape. Education landscape is huge. Okay, education landscape is huge. Education landscape is like involves a lot more things that in my time when I learned something, I had some physics, chemistry, and mathematics and all that. Okay, nowadays it is much more than that. Each physics is divided into certain other physics. Chemistry is now organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, separate fields by themselves. So 21st century is expanding with lot more different types of knowledge. So educational landscape is not going to change, but we have to get this 21st century learning will not change. I think we are not going to go. The slide is having some problems here. Let me see what I can do with it. Okay. So the next slide, just a minute, I think I have a help here to coming out going forward. So it is okay, don't worry. Good, I'm learning. Yeah. Okay, see now I've got this line coming up now. So you have let me go through all these slides very quickly and get to that point where I was. Okay, so 21st century learning. So we are back at place where we are telling, okay, 21st century learning will not change the education landscape, right? But it become parts of a landscape. It become integrated. You will not know. So 21st century learning is part of the landscape, and learning will not be exactly same as we know it today. Today think I know everything. No, don't stick to that dogma of this is what I know today is sufficient for 21st century. It is more than that. So why? Very simply, I'll take you the difference between education and business. Education is what you are working here inside the institution to learn some subjects and everything. This is care oriented. Teachers are the caring. They want you to learn. Those individuals, we call them teachers, okay, they are caring individuals. But whereas in business, those individuals service oriented. They want to service. Oh, as a customer, please come here. I can service. If there's a problem with your thing, I can service for you. They also, this a bit of a caring is involved. But business is more towards service oriented. Education is more towards care oriented. And in education, you can think of teachers and everybody as counselors. And whereas in business, they are policy makers. And in institutions here, education, we talk about learning. Learning is the one which adds value to whatever we do. In business, it is a value added function. So today you do this, tomorrow you add some more layer of value to it to sell it at a different price. Here you add learning, continuous learning. It becomes a kind of a continuous process to really leverage yourself above everybody else. And in education, you get guidance. And in business, policy drives everything. And education is continuous. But whereas in business, it's systematized. Okay, this is the only thing we can do as a business, not more than that. And education is ongoing. But in business, they have to take initiatives every time to start something new. So even though when you move, okay, you finish learning something, you think you have done everything about whatever you need to know to attain this degree, and move to a different workplace, you have to understand these differences. You have been in this environment and now you are moving into business environment. Once you understand where these things falls, it becomes easy for you to really get acclimatized to the work environment, get adjusted to that. And what else is different? Education versus skill. See, education is more of acquiring knowledge, but a skill, you have to maintain it. See, once you learn to do something, you have to maintain it by doing it over and over again. Education is more towards attaining soft skills. Soft skills, I mean, how do you learn to communicate with others? How do you greet in a customer in a environment? Hotel environment is different from automobile environment. So the soft skills you learn, but skills, hard skills, real physical work. And education is creative, okay, and also it is, like we always hire very talented people down there. Education is work towards hiring people, being very creative, creating creative people, and creating soft skills and all that. So the skills set of it is over a period of time, skills transform into tools and vice versa, and it's a continuous process. So you have to understand the difference between education and skill too. So what do we do next? We want to transform the education through QTIME learning. So how do we transform that? But what is transformation? A Dalai Lama said, if every 8-year-old in the world is taught meditation, we will eliminate violence from the world with one generation. This is transformation. What he is doing? He is transforming entire generation from being violent to become peaceful. So QTIME learning is transformation like that. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen not few years later, but over a period of generation it's going to happen. So why does it happen? Because people follow trust, good or bad. So we make the people follow good trust, then we have done half the job. People venture innovation. They want to really do something. But why? Whether it is small or big, they want to do it. That innovation mindset we have to create. And people devise methods to conquer anything that comes across in front of them as an obstacle. However simple method they devise, or however complex method devise, they are device methods, that is there in their nature. So we need to promote that creation of those methods depending on the time, at the time they are in. And we should also remember, people reward efforts. Whether you have a little effort put into that place to achieve great results, or a lot of efforts were put in to achieve something, is still to be rewarded. So once you recognize the facts that people follow trust, people venture innovation, people devise methods consistently, continuously, and people reward efforts, we achieve a transformation. That's why the QTIME learning is here. So the trusted professionalism, innovation proficiency, they drive the efforts efficiency and also the methods maturity. How efficient efforts become, how mature the methods become, dependent on how trusted a professional you are and how innovative you are. So once you learn what those driving dimensions are, you will be able to achieve methods maturity or efficiency much faster. So I have been talking about QTIME to many around India. I have gone to the College of Engineering in Pune, Mahajana Postgrad Center in Mysore, Pratham Mysore. These are the list of things that people have visited, talked to them and told about QTIME. And QTIME learning is becoming slowly spread around over a period of time. I think it's going to attain its place in learning methods at some point in time. And I have been around, going around discovering things around the world. You should do this too. This is now, I'm not going to go through any of those things. This is my learning landscape. I have learned from all different corners of the world. Sometimes talking to professionals, sometimes talking to gurus, teachers. Everybody is important when you go after learning, and you will go through that the learning landscape. I expand on that next talk. This is the introduction talk, so I'm not going to take you all through all these things. And I thank you quickly for this time. I think I went through more than 1 hour, probably like I think I'm given to 12 o'clock. It's 12:10 now, and thank you all for listening to me. I know that this is something new, but keep it in mind, taking the QTIME steps in QTIME dimensions, you have a QTIME learning, which is a 4-dimensional learning. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Have a good day.